Good morning folks. In this tutorial I'm going to explain you how can we design cards in normal CSS and HTML. So let's have some basic HTML file and then CSS file. So let's start with HTML. So here first what I'm going to do is I'm going to include this CSS file here. So let us create some basic tags. So let me keep title as practice card UI. So I'm going to close this tab. So what I'll do is let me include this CSS. This is how we can include it. Then I can change def equal to directly the file name because my CSS is in the base path. So this should be working. So I have a tag. So it is have some import tag with the okay. So now we'll move on to the style. So in this one what we'll do is like first we'll create the main class which is called card. Since we're designing the cards, so I'll just keep it as .card and let us have some basic margins, border, etc. So I'll keep margin, adding some 2%, then 1%. Okay, now my main class is ready. So what I'll do is like in this tutorial I'm going to explain you how can we design this card as well as how can we have some multiple cards. So here what I'll do is like I'll just create some 3 cards so that in one particular page you can accommodate 3 cards. So how can you do? I'll show you the approach. So I'll have the cards name as C1, C2 and C3. And as you know that in CSS if multiple elements is carrying the same properties, you can just mention using the class and then the comma, so that will work for us. So what happens next, we'll make it as very important step. So display of all the cards should be inline block. That is the only way we can approach the card UI. So now here is a trick. So what we have to do is like we have to make sure that 3 cards are fitting into the screen. So here we have lost 3 plus 2 plus 1, so which means almost we have lost 6%. So left 94% we have to divide into 3 cards. So what I'll do is like, so I'll make it as 31% each card, which will add up almost 100% of our screen. And for our convenience we'll keep it as height equal to some 6 or 500px. Anything should be fine here. And to looks that to improve the look of the card, what we'll do is like we'll keep the border radius. So we'll keep it some 8px. So now what happened is we created 3 cards, and what we'll do is we'll try to see it in HTML now. Before that, to identify the cards, what we'll do is like we'll have different background or other than white. We can keep here only. So what I'll do is like I'll keep the background color of each card as, this is my favorite, gray. The formula is ECF 0F1. Now what I'll do is like I'll fit that particular part in this body tag. So first we have to create a div with the class name card. Now with that we'll try to accommodate 3 cards. So the first card is div class equal to C1. Let us close this tab. So first card is ready. So similarly, just copy paste other cards C1, C2, C3. So now I have 3 cards ready, and these are my card names. So let us load HTML now. So look how it's looking. So now what happened is, this is my overall, and then I left off a little part for this border padding and all those stuff, and then I kept one margin radius, and then we are able to see 3 cards here. So let us increase few more things. Let us add some more features so that it will give some real features for to be exactly look like cards. So we'll create some shadows. So for creating shadows, what we have to do is we have to keep box shadow. So here I'll make 0 to px, and 0, and let us have it in RGB format, and there will mention 0, 0, 0, 0.2. So once you mention this, what will happen is your card will have a little bit shadow, and let us refresh that. Okay, look, you're able to see the card with a little bit shadow. And now what we'll do is we'll try to have the border for each thing. So let's have a margin for each thing. So I'll keep margin for each card. So now what will happen is, you can see there is a little bit gap between each card. So now what we'll do is now when you click on, or when you hover a mouse on this each card, you are not seeing any transition. So for the users to look out, what we'll have is, we'll keep one separate in a CSS. What we can do is we can have that hover functionality, and then when someone hovers on that particular card, we can increase the depth of the shadow so that it will give a realness, real card like feature. So now I created a hover for all this class, and then what I'll do is I'll just copy this box shadow, and here what we should do is we should increase the depthness of the shadow. So let us have here 8 pixel, and here some 20 pixel, and here we'll make it as 0.8. So now what will happen is, when you refresh this, if you see right, look how it's happening. When someone hovers on this, the depth of the shadow is increased, and then it will give you a real card like feature. So this is how what you can do is here I have taken 3 cards. Now if you want 4 cards, you can just divide this width accordingly. And also I think it will take even percentage will even consider decimal values. So I think 31%, 32%. So I think 3 plus 2 plus 5, 6, 7, and then 93. So it's covering almost 100. It's covering exactly 100%. Now you can see that whole particular page is split into 3 columns. So now what we'll do is we'll try to just write some name here. This is my card 1. So similarly, let us see whether it's reflecting here. Okay, so it's messing up when you're writing the card. So what we'll do is for this one, we have to make sure that each card is aligned vertically. So that what we'll do is we'll make vertical align equal to top. So this will make sure that even when you're entering any data here, so it will not lose that vertical alignment. So here similarly I can make card 2, card 3. So now what happens is, look, now we're seeing the 3 cards. So now what I'll do is just I'll make this as I'll make a div.card header, so that I can just make it as a little bit picker size, font size is, I'll make it as some 25px, and then font weight, I'll make it as bold, and let us align this center. So now what I'll do, like I'll mention this in a one more div class equal to class header. So now I'll close this tag. Something must appear. So I'll close this tag, and then here I have to close the tag. So now I have card header as one more div, and then here if you see it, look, it's now aligning here. So similarly, instead of mentioning directly, what I'll do is make like this. So now we have main card, and then within that we have main class for card, and then within that we have 3 cards, and each one is having header. So now if you see, right, so we have designed this card in this fashion. So similarly, you can follow this tutorial, and then you can create the cards, and you can mail me if you have any doubts.